Hello, hello. Today is Demon Day. We have another Demons of Chaos replay cast from another player here. And a warning ahead, I think, or the player that sent me that warned me that it ends in a drop. And I think it's from yesterday's tournament and even needed an admin ruling on who actually won it. So it should be an interesting match and interesting to speculate on over the final outcome. But yeah, might also be a bit of a letdown to not know how it went or how it actually would have went. So the Demons build here is fairly simple. So super sturdy, leadership buffed recently, Plague Bearers of Nurgle, Exalted Plague Bearers with their fairly strong hand grenades. They actually deal decent damage against single entities, as opposed to Dwarven. Plastic charges they are called. Yeah. They aren't based on explosion, but on pure missile damage. Then Pink Horse. Did I actually comment? Okay. And a blue Har unit, which is interesting. But I guess it's just more firepower quickly. Though I'm not sure why it's necessary to have the firepower. And I played a lot recently Beastmen versus Zinch, which, well, have a lot in common with, yeah, Demons, as you see a lot of Zinchian units here. And the blues are kind of problematic as they completely get run over by Centigors. But we come to that. Here we have Fleshy Abundance and Miasma of Pestilence. I've seen that quite a bit recently. I mean, it's a super cheap spell and it procs. No, not that. Not that either. Where's the Nurgle Law passive? Did the player forget about it? Uh-huh. Yeah, I think proccing it then is not so. I mean, for 4 wins, melee attack down is a good effect. That's worse for itself by itself, but not bringing the Nurgle Law passive, which is what would make it really strong, is certainly a mistake. I don't know if the player wants to play unconventional, which I don't see in this build, to be honest. But maybe that's the unconventional part. Then on the Beastman side, we have a full radar core. Actually, only no, there's a fifth. I'm just blind. We have Vanguards, magic damage against demons, very understandable. Shields against pink horrors. Yep, if you want to go with infantry, you do that. Malagor, I feel like he is almost the only choice against demons and Zinch units, as he has the mobility to get away from everything. Chariot's Lord could really get into trouble by being sniped. Or need to stay so far back that they aren't, well, not a chariot. Flock of Doom, yep, just spamming into this. They are often tightly grouped up to prevent being run over by Centigors, and that is when you make the Flock of Doom work. Get some normal Ungers. I kinda disagreed with the Halibranai earlier, though I maybe was wrong on that. For Beastmen, I see this differently on their Spear Regiment of Renown units. They're very similar to the Halibranai, but the difference is that the base unit isn't a good holding unit at all, but those guys are. So you get something actually different for it. And they're also stalked, so it gives a bit more utility, though they suffer to spells all the same. And then the last piece I haven't commented on is Jabber Slice. Now, I'm super curious about this guy, because it's obviously a tech piece to kill Plague Bearers, which otherwise would stand eternally in there, or if the other side lets them, kill Pink Horrors. The problem is Pink Horrors are also the counter to it. Maybe that's also the blue's job to get them. But yeah, you need to somehow shut down the shooting first, and if the demon side has brought Furies, you don't get in with flying stuff, and also the cavalry. If they go around and charge from there, they get the Fury from here, the Vanguard summon, and get obliterated. Here, the pink horrors in general don't have the most range for a missile unit, but they have more than those Hunger Raiders. And yeah, dead. A Soul Grinder of Slaanesh. Ooh, that is super curious. Yeah, I would not have expected this in reinforcement, since yeah, Beastmen like their big chunky beasts and also Centigors en masse, but usually you take other pieces of tech to deal with those. As I mentioned, Jabber Slice needs to be careful with being shot, but or being thrown by those exalted plague bearers. This was quite a nice bit of damage from both sides, though the pink horrors suffer immensely under him. Wow. Now they're getting shot from here though. Yeah, this thing needs to be really careful. Got in this far because there was so much stuff right now, and the Hunger Raiders were apparently judged as a bit of a priority, which I can understand, and oh my god, this Great Unclean One is dying. World Champion of dying. And yeah, getting into the lines finally by doing a big sacrifice from other units, and then instantly being forced out by this summon, that feels bad, man. So, we're having a bit of a run over by Centigors here, and yeah, this is why I don't like blues in this setup. They just die. A half health Centigor comes in and just completely obliterates them. You could for the same money get a Fury, almost. The demons actually hold the mid, which is hilarious. The raiders shooting at the soul grinder, they will deal good damage, though not as much obliteration as into the Great Unclean One, since this thing has armor. And also tends to move around way more. Though we got the counter piece here. Man, both sides really thought about really big pieces, tech pieces from the other side, which is interesting. Both sides have the missiles to completely obliterate them, but still take even harder tech pieces. Wow. The infantry fight is hard to comment on as it's so convoluted, but we get more and more Centigors, and they kind of occupy this room here. Yeah, no, we got a while back those Furies to actually help them. Beastmen occupied this point and stalling things off. Those blues actually managed to shoot, and those Centigors now, if they get charged by the Furies, they are in for trouble. Because in the standing fight, those Furies will just win. Though Which ones are those? Furies. Interesting. I would have taken different ones, like Korn was their extra super frenzy, or Nurgle was being super sturdy due to the Cloud of Flies, and Poison is also good. So yeah, this barrier is a small HP increase. You can't call it bad, because it isn't, but yeah. So we have a healing blob in here and Mortis Engine, and that makes a lot of things not happy if they get Mortis Engined. And yeah, you can see this value ticking up in steps of 10 per second. This is not healthy. That is as much as your reinforcement is almost. And the blob is kinda dissolved. So yeah, this was maybe not worth it. Though you need to bind those beasts a bit. I'm curious to look at afterwards how things performed. But the demons kinda taking this point back and having hold on to this, so the victory points is fairly unproblematic. And right now I'm sensing a bit of a problem for the Beastman side, as they don't really have the ground forces to take this point, or they don't. Though if this thing, this thing needed to live to deal with the Great Unclean One, maybe should have been a bit more patient to get with escorts, because I think those Centigors of Steering Axes right now are the only tool for the Beastmen to get back into the game. The Jabber Slice, I don't know if it's more running away or more or trying to achieve something actually here. Maybe a bit of both. Okay, so the Centigors got saved and are about to kill the Great Unclean One. And this is good. Good for Beastmen, bad for the Demons. Because if this guy falls, I'm completely seeing Beastmen able to take the game back. It's not like the Demons have very sturdy forces in here, and you've seen what happened to those blues earlier. If they get the Lord Kill debuff, they are just, they might as well not exist in the face of Centigors. So those guys need to shoot. God Mountain, shoot. Yeah, get him. Also those, yeah, you see the player, they are still in formation, so that means the player is putting them in guard mode and renewing the attack command all the time onto this guy. And this is perfect handling of this. Identified what is really important right now, and this guy needs to die. With the Mortis Engine gone and the Lord Kill debuff, you now will see all those blues dying in a matter of seconds. And with this, the Soul Grinder is a bit of a problem, but not too much, to be honest. And I'm seeing Beastmen now able, with the leadership debuff, to rule the mobility again. Oh, the Screamers still got the Centigors. It's still close though. It's still close. More Furies of Zinj. Now back to their old leadership value, you could say. Not that -10. No, it's still 5 more than they had before. Now even with Lord Kill debuff, which is kinda insane to say. But yeah. There's no tool against the Soul Grinder. There needs to be another Centigors. Then I would say it's. By the way, that the leadership of this Jabber Slave held the whole game without routing. The player has to be force path them around so much, and this is good. Very good micro of it, and on its way, kinda. This jumping animations make so much damage, so he only needs a quick stop into a unit to deal massive damage. And yep, those Furies do what they're best at, flying behind things and then crashing into them. Though I don't know if this is the best target, as it has the highest leadership. Though the other things are also not really good. This is not some crappy run-of-the-mill Beastmen infantry. Those are Zangors and the Blackhorn's Ravagers. Like they will get a lot of damage, but not so much. Does he have the icons of vilification? I think not. I really like to take with Morger the item that gives 12 leadership below him, basically. Because that makes Beastman lines actually reasonably sturdy. Blackhorn, Ravagers, Terror Routed. Yeah. So, I don't see any real forces for the demons. Like, Plague Bearers will get into the grind, they will win the grind eventually, but I don't think they will figure quickly enough so that they actually take the point from the reinforcing Beastmen forces. And all the shooting should be really open to be charged by Centigors right now without any cohesion or formation. And without that, I think that would have been a Beastman win. Yeah. On that thought, I really think this was a bad pick for a Lord. I really think. Beastmen have so many tools to kill. Yeah, you see those values here, and they weren't multiple summoned. This is all on the Lord. Well, of course not all, but it's so inflated because the Lord value. And he spent a lot of healing even to keep the Lord going, and still had him die. There was only one Centigor throwing axes. I can kinda understand that. I really love this unit, I must say. But they have the problem, or they are problem solver against armor, and demons don't have that. But they are also problem solver against single entities of all kind, single entity monsters of all kind. So yeah, I actually those Minotaurs I would have preferred another throwing axe unit for this, really. They did good though. They fought into a very destructive blob and took a lot of HP from important things down. Can't really expect to pay more than 2/3 of your value. And against demons, which crumble, or generally, you don't need to pay fully for yourself to actually have achieved as much value, because due to routing and crumbling and such stuff, if you reach your value, that means actually you have slightly overperformed. Centigors, yep, good. Also, their values aren't so hot, but they had a vital job of shutting down pinks and blues, and they did it. Only one Fury. Yeah. That's the reason why the Centigors could do their job. On then of Siege. I don't get this. I don't get this one, I must say. And also the Changebringers. They would have been a good against the Jabberslays, and really those Angor Raiders aren't a threat to them if you properly micro them. Like if the Jabberslays goes into hiding behind their shooting lines, is worthless. So there might be one problem. This big jumping animation that the Jabber Slice does all the time for basically every attack can really cause things to not only miss, but also the missiles go friendly firing your own units. So in the Beastmen versus Zinj that I practiced, the player settled down to bring even multiple of those to torch Centigors and such stuff. Torch basically everything. Only Pestigors reasonably well weathered the storm against them, and then brought a net on top of that with Kairos, and this killed literally everything. Yeah, though a terror source, a mobile terror source from the Soul Grind is also a very good thing here, so I can completely understand something like that. Yeah. Blues, they all lived multiple times. Some got to shoot, some didn't in their lives. It wasn't a 12 Centigore swarm as you currently are able to see quite often. I kind of would have expected this into Deamons, which all have no armor, and honestly, I think it would have done amazingly well. Because this Modus engine you can completely ignore if you're on 84 speed. 84? Can't see it right now. On light cav speed. Those pings would all have died. And then your raiders that you summon in later pick apart those pesky little plague bearers. And without a flying lord with ping fire to torch the raiders, you're not gonna get them with Furies. So I think this was a huge gamble on the demon side now thinking about it, and didn't even really work out. I don't, yeah, just the slot choice is so strange to me. Yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling here. I think I commented on most things. The rest wasn't interesting super much. See you.